The Bold and the Beautiful is about to push one of its most complicated father-daughter storylines to the breaking point, and the fallout promises to shake both the Forrester and Spencer families to their core. Dr. John Finnegan has faced life-or-death choices before as a trauma surgeon, but nothing has prepared him for what's coming. Luna Nozawa, who was believed dead after a violent spiral of betrayals and near-fatal confrontations, is not only alive but pregnant and carrying an innocent child that makes every decision Finn makes even heavier than before. He thought he had closed the chapter on his volatile and dangerous daughter, but now the page has turned again, forcing him to decide whether he can abandon her forever or accept the role that fate has thrust upon him. The truth about Finn and Luna's relationship was already twisted long before this shocking reveal. Luna grew up believing she was only distantly related to him, but recent revelations turned her entire world upside down. She is not just his cousin but his biological daughter. The moment she learned the truth, Luna tried desperately to build a bridge to her father. She pleaded with him to acknowledge her, to be part of her life, to accept her for who she was and not for the mistakes she had made. Finn, always guided by his sense of loyalty and duty, turned away. His love for Steffi Forrester and his commitment to protecting their family left no room for Luna, not after what she had done. Luna had crossed lines that could not be ignored. She had held Steffi hostage. She had tried to steal Hayes. She had pulled a trigger that nearly ended Steffi's life. These were not acts that could be brushed aside, not even in the name of family, not even by a man as compassionate as Finn. For a while, Finn even convinced himself that Luna's supposed death was a blessing in disguise. It freed him from the moral conflict of wanting to save a daughter who had become too dangerous. He carried on as though it was tragic but final, letting the memory fade while standing firm beside Steffi. But the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers confirm the death was nothing more than a mirage, and now Luna's return from the shadows will reignite every suppressed emotion Finn has tried to bury. When Finn first comes face to face with Luna again, the shock is overwhelming. This is not a ghost. She is real, standing in front of him, flesh and blood, very much alive. And then the second shock hits. She is pregnant. In that instant, Finn is not just looking at the daughter he cast aside, he is looking at his grandchild. The moral dilemmas multiply. He can reject Luna, but how can he turn his back on the innocent life growing inside her? He can honor his marriage vows to Steffi, but what does that mean for a baby who didn't ask to be born into chaos? Finn is paralyzed by the weight of his choices. Steffi's absence from Los Angeles at this crucial moment only makes matters worse. Without her watchful eye and fierce protective instincts, Finn finds himself drifting back toward Luna almost in spite of himself. He rationalizes every step. She needs prenatal care, she needs medical supervision, she needs someone she can trust to guide her through the pregnancy. But beneath that clinical detachment lies the pull of biology. Whether he admits it or not, Luna is his daughter, and the child she carries is his grandchild. The bond is there, unshakable, undeniable, and it draws him closer to the very woman he swore never to forgive. The return of Luna forces Finn to re-examine every decision he made when he cut her off. Was he too harsh? Was he blinded by Steffi's trauma and his own anger? Did he abandon a daughter who, despite everything, still craved his love? These questions eat at him in private moments, even as he tries to maintain his image as the perfect husband and father in public. The Bold and the Beautiful thrives on these internal conflicts, and Finn's heart is about to be torn apart more violently than ever before. Meanwhile, Luna herself is not the same young woman who disappeared into the shadows. Her brush with death and her impending motherhood have softened her, changed her. She is no longer reckless, no longer hungry for revenge. She wants to survive, to protect her unborn child, to start over. And she wants Finn to be part of that fresh start. She appeals to him not as a daughter trying to manipulate her father, but as a frightened young woman who needs support. Every plea chips away at his defenses. Every tear, every word, every look weakens his resolve. The next layer of drama comes from Finn's own family history. Lee, his adoptive mother, has always been fiercely protective of him and wary of anyone who might drag him down. If Lee learns the truth about Luna's survival and pregnancy, she will almost certainly push Finn to cut ties permanently. But deep down, Finn knows that rejecting Luna could mean rejecting his grandchild too, and that is something he cannot bring himself to do. The cycle of family trauma repeats itself, and Finn is trapped in the middle. Of course, the biggest explosion will come when Steffi discovers the truth. She believed she had finally rid her life of Luna's shadow, finally secured her family's safety. Learning that Luna is alive will be enough to shatter her peace of mind. Learning that Finn has been secretly meeting her, caring for her, and perhaps even protecting her will push Steffi over the edge. She has been betrayed before, and her tolerance for disloyalty is non-existent. If Finn tries to juggle both worlds, he risks losing everything: his marriage, his children, and his future with Steffi. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that Finn may try to walk a tightrope, keeping Luna's survival a secret while quietly ensuring she receives care. He may convince himself that this is only temporary, that once the baby is born, he can make a clean break. But the soap world is never that simple. Secrets always come out, and when this one does, the fallout will be catastrophic. There is also the looming question of the baby's paternity. While it seems clear that Finn will be a grandfather, BNB has never been shy about throwing in shocking DNA twists. Could the baby belong to someone else, adding another layer of scandal? Could the truth about the child's father blow the story wide open, implicating a Forrester or even a Spencer? The possibilities are endless, and each one threatens to pull Finn deeper into the web of lies and half-truths. At its core, though, this storyline is about Finn's heart. He is a healer, a protector, a man who has always stood for compassion and second chances. Luna represents both his greatest failure and his last opportunity to live up to those values. If he abandons her now, he abandons not only his daughter but an unborn child who deserves better. If he embraces her, he risks losing Steffi and everything they've built. No matter which way he turns, someone gets hurt. The bold and the beautiful thrives on these impossible choices, and Finn's decision will set the stage for months of drama. Will he secretly bond with Luna, jeopardizing his marriage? Will he reveal the truth to Steffi and beg for her understanding, knowing she may never forgive him? Will he go all in, supporting Luna through her pregnancy and reclaiming his role as a father, no matter the consequences? Or will he try to walk away again, only to be dragged back when the baby arrives? Finn had believed, deeply and painfully, that his past with Luna was a closed chapter. Around that time, distance and silence would heal. But when the past comes clawing back into the present, as it always does, he finds himself thrust into a fresh, devastating tempest of loyalties, secrets, vengeance, and love. The choices he must make threaten to rip apart not only his own life but the fragile threads that bind Lee, Steffi, and the wider community he holds dear. It begins when Will, late one night, stumbles into Finn's apartment trembling. Luna has caught up with him again, dragging him into her shadow. Desperate, broken, he confesses he cannot live with her stalking presence any longer. His voice cracks. She threatened him, manipulated him, and now he sees only darkness ahead. Would she kill him or worse, damage those he loves to maintain control? Finn is horrified to realize that Will, in utter despair, is talking of death not as escape, but as silence. Luna's hold has awakened a horror he never imagined would be his burden. So begins a chain reaction of grief and rage. Finn watches helplessly as Will attempts to ingest pills. He rushes to intervene, but it is Elektra who arrives first, and by the time she fights through the bedroom door, Will lies unconscious. Luna, lurking outside the door, slips away unseen, leaving only a broken trail of her chaos. Elektra, shaken, calls an ambulance. Finn forces himself to stay calm. In his steady hands, Will survives. Now Elektra demands answers. She sees Luna as a threat, and she wants Luna gone for good. Luna's past is no secret: the deaths, the violence, the betrayals. Elektra has lost too much already, and she cannot risk losing more. She presses Finn. He must choose a side: protect Will, protect Elektra, or let Luna crash into their lives unchecked. Meanwhile, Luna, licking her wounds, regroups. She swears vengeance on Elektra, blaming her for pushing Will into despair. In her mind, Elektra's presence, her love, her claims to purity all stand in the way of what Luna believes is her right. With Elektra wounded but defiant, Luna plots from the shadows rumors, manipulations, half-truths, poison to divide the alliances. In Luna's corner, though, stands a dark puppeteer, Sheila. Finn's biological mother, familiar with cruelty wrapped in charm, sees in Luna the spark of her own ruthless ambition. She whispers, cajoles, mobilizes. She shields her granddaughter when the tides threaten, persuading her not to flee but to strike back harder. Sheila has always believed in control, and now she will use every lever she can muster to protect Luna and to steer the course of destruction toward Elektra, toward Will, and even toward Finn. Lee, the pillar of moral grounding in Finn's life, watches all this with increasing alarm. She confronts Sheila. Enough. You know what Luna's done. The murders. The stalking. The lives she shattered. You cannot hide that from us. Sheila counters. She is mine to defend. And you will see Luna is misunderstood. Lee fights back, demanding that Finn stand with her, with the community, with responsibility. Yet Finn remains torn. Because Finn remembers Luna once the scared child, the lost one. He remembers his own weakness, the long hours of guilt he carried for not preventing harm. He knows too well what it is to bear trauma. His heart refuses to see her wholly as monster, even if his mind screams that she must face justice. Then a tragedy. At night, in the dim halls of the community center, Luna corners Elektra. She lunges, a scream, a struggle. A gunshot echoes. Elektra collapses. The hallway floods with panic. Finn arrives at the scene to find Elektra bleeding on the floor, Luna gone again. Will kneels beside her, sobbing. Finn lifts her, carries her to safety, calls Lee, calls paramedics. And for just a moment, time stops. As Elektra lies in the hospital, unconscious, Finn confronts Luna. He tracks her to an abandoned warehouse, past broken windows and shadows. She does not fight. She only says, in trembling voice, I wanted him. I thought if I destroyed her, I could have him. Finn's heart breaks. He pleads, no more blood, no more death. But Luna wails in agony, the grip of obsession choking her. At the same moment, Sheila appears behind a pillar. She has arranged this meeting. Make your choice, Finn, she hisses. Stand with me. Save Luna. Or side with Lee and the others and let her die. Finn's eyes flick between mother and daughter. He feels Elektra's life in balance, Lee's voice echoing in his conscience, Luna's pain burning in his mind. He listens to Lee's pleas. Protect the vulnerable. Protect the innocent. She implores him to work with the community, to act ethically, to remove Luna's threat while minimizing collateral damage. But Luna is more than a threat now. She is his child by blood, albeit one born of ruin. Sheila pleads that Luna must be shielded, not sacrificed, that the world must see her as redeemable, or at least as something to defend. Finn makes a decision. He grabs Luna's arm and gently but firmly pulls. You must go in, he says. Let me talk to Elektra. Let me ensure she lives. Let me protect you from yourself. He guides Luna into the car. He calls Lee. He calls security. He calls police himself, but with instructions. Let him handle the scene first. He wants to minimize the fallout. At the hospital, Elektra lies unconscious. The surgeon says she may survive, but complications loom. Finn hovers, hands shaking, as Will paces the hallway. No one knows whether Elektra will wake. Neither does Finn know whether the choice he made will bring peace or more death. In the following days, the town explodes. Elektra finally regains consciousness. She sees Finn by her bedside. He gently retracts, giving her space. She glares, you let her live. He doesn't apologize, not yet. He only admits that he could not kill his own flesh. She recoils. Their love fractures anew. Sheila, emboldened, whispers to Luna from prison or hiding, everything you did was right. They'll be sorry. Luna, weakened, wonders whether she ever deserved forgiveness. Meanwhile, Lee confronts Finn sharply. You protected her. You risked her, again and again. Where does your loyalty lie? Finn answers with silence. The community reels. Some condemn Finn as a traitor. Others respect his attempt to walk through darkness without succumbing to it entirely. Finn begins quietly assembling evidence, mental evaluations, crisis teams, containment plans to keep Luna safe and away from others until she heals, or until justice can be done. The final scene, Finn stands in the dim-lit hospital corridor. Elektra emerges, supported by a nurse. Lee appears. Luna is escorted by security into the same building, eyes hollow but defiant. Sheila watches from afar. Finn takes one last breath, knowing the worst may yet come and that by choosing between Lee and Luna, Elektra and redemption, he has set all of them on a collision course. And now, with nothing left to hide, he steps forward into a future of broken alliances, of fragile hope, and of the ultimate question, can love ever redeem such havoc?